China to extend all-out cooperation to Bangladesh in combating corona. Bangladesh interested to go for joint venture with China in vaccine production. Country to get Indian serum vaccine within a few days, says Health Minister. Government initiative underway to procure vaccines from Russia and China and the United States, says the Foreign Minister. Prime Minister donates 10 crore taka for the welfare of journalists during the corona situation. Everyone should act unitedly to combat corona situation, irrespective of party affiliation, says Ubaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urges BNP to stand by the people, seeking apology for spreading confusion over corona vaccine. United States plans to export 60 million AstraZeneca vaccine doses to needy countries. Death toll from coronavirus in India, almost 2 lakh. And Chelsea to face Real Madrid tonight in the first leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-final. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Nafiz Imtiazuddin, welcoming you to news at 10 on BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre. You've just heard the headlines. We have details of those and other stories coming up. China is keen to extend all-out cooperation to Bangladesh to fight against corona. Chinese Defense Minister General Wei Fenghe said this during a meeting with President Mohammad Abdul Hamid at Bongo Bhogwal this afternoon. Later, President's Press Secretary Mohammad Zainul Abidin said that during the meeting, President Mohammad Abdul Hamid stressed on strengthening bilateral and multilateral relations in response to the corona pandemic. The President said Bangladesh was keen to work together with China in dealing with corona, including taking joint ventures in research and production of the corona vaccine. Mentioning that China is one of the important development partners of Bangladesh, the President said that relations between Bangladesh and China were gradually expanding in various fields, including in trade and investment. Highlighting the role of China on the Rohingya issue, the President hoped that China would play an important role in repatriating the forcibly displaced Rohingyas. The Chinese Defense Minister said that China is working to solve the Rohingya problem. Mentioning that the military cooperation between China and Bangladesh is gradually increasing, the Chinese Defense Minister said that China would continue its strategic cooperation in the development of Bangladesh's armed forces. Principal Staff Officer of the Armed Forces Division, Lieutenant General Waqar-uz-Zaman, Secretary to the President's Office, Shampod Bora, Military Secretary Major General S.M. Salahuddin Islam and Secretary attached to Wahidul Islam Khan were present. Visiting Chinese Defense Minister General Wei Fenghe has made a courtesy call on the Bangladesh Army Chief General Aziz Ahmed at the Army headquarters in Dhaka today. During the visit, the two generals exchanged greetings and expressed the hope of continuing the existing cooperation in the advancement between the two countries in the days ahead. Prior to the visit, the Chinese delegation, under the leadership of General Wei Fenghe, laid wreaths at the Eternal Flame to show respect to the martyred heroes of the Liberation War of Bangladesh. Earlier, Chinese Defense Minister General Wei Fenghe arrived in Dhaka today on a one-day visit amid the corona pandemic. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shahryar Alam welcomed him at Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport at around 10:45 in the morning. General Wei Fenghi paid homage at the portrait of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, at Dhanmondi 32 after reaching there from the airport. Later, he visited the Bangabandhu Memorial Museum. Bangladesh today reported 3,031 COVID-19 cases, while the coronavirus claimed overnight 78 lives. Director General of Health Services, DGHS, said in its routine daily statement that the tally of infections had surged to 7,51,659. A total of 78 COVID-19 patients died in the last 24 hours, taking the death toll from the pandemic to 11,228. It's at 0.51%, 12.51% of the 24,237 samples collected in 24 hours tested positive, while the infection rate had been only 2.30% just in February 8th this year, as during the late winter season the rate had started decreasing sharply. The samples were tested at 358 authorized medical laboratories across the country during the time, as the government put in efforts to increase the number of testing centers gradually with the resurgence of the pandemic. The recovery count rose to 6,927 after another 5,234 patients were discharged from the hospitals during the past one day. DGHS statistics showed of the people infected from the beginning, 88.73% recovered, while 1.49% died. Health Minister Dr. Zahid Malik has said corona vaccine will come from India's Serum Institute within a few days. The minister gave this information at a press briefing at Mohakali today. Dr. Zahid Malik said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had talked with the government of India to get the contracted vaccines from the Serum Institute. Mentioning that international politics was going on with corona vaccine, Dr. Zahid Malik said process is going on to bring COVID vaccines from Russia. He said Bangladesh had enough oxygen supply against the present demand. The government is trying to import small oxygen plants, he added. Dr. Zahid Malik also said lockdown is not the only solution to stopping the corona infection in the country. He urged all to maintain hygiene rules, considering the health risk. China today proposed 3 proposals, including setting up a COVID emergency medical storage facility for 5 South Asian nations, including Bangladesh, at a Beijing-led foreign minister-level virtual meeting among the nations. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momin told media at a briefing after the meeting at his residence in the capital today. Apart from setting up the medical storage facilities, Momin said China also proposed for building a development center to deal with post-COVID poverty and an e-commerce forum for boosting South Asian business. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi invited his counterparts of 5 South Asian countries, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Pakistan, in the virtual meeting. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momin said Dhaka proposed inclusion of oxygen supplies along with the vaccines at the China proposed emergency medical storage facility. Bangladesh does have adequate stock of oxygen. If the rate of corona patients comes down, there will be no shortage of oxygen in the country. The authorities concerned say it has become essential to keep the rate of infection under control. Meanwhile, the Explosives Directorate has advised the authorities concerned to supply oxygen only to hospitals and not to industries and factories. The Directorate said the steps had been taken to facilitate COVID-19 patients all over the country. The Explosives Directorate has given the instruction to 5 oxygen-producing factories today. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina provided 10 crore taka to the Bangladesh Journalist Welfare Trust to aid journalists in need during the COVID-19 pandemic. Press Secretary to the Prime Minister, Ihsanul Karim, said the Prime Minister donated the money to the Journalist Trust with a view to extending assistance to the journalists across the country during the bad time amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir had said the main philosophy of non-communal politician Sher-e-Bangla A.K. Fazlul Haq was to ensure the welfare of the common people. He said this after paying tributes on behalf of the Awami League at the grave of Sher-e-Bangla A.K. Fazlul Haq, marking his death anniversary today. Obaidul Qadir said the issue of people's welfare remained neglected to many politicians, but Sher-e-Bangla and Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman were different in this case. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had been working for the welfare of people, following the footsteps of the two leaders, he added. Obaidul Qadir said all BNP leaders from top to bottom should resign for their failure in the polls and agitations. He called upon all, irrespective of opinion or party affiliation, to make united efforts in facing the current coronavirus situation.
শেরে-বাংলা A.K. ফজলুল হক রাজনীতি করেছেন সাধারণ মানুষের ভাগ্য উন্নয়নে। জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানও সাধারণ মানুষের ভাগ্য উন্নয়নকে রাজনীতির মূল মন্ত্র হিসেবে বেছে নিয়েছিলেন এবং সে পথ ধরে আজকে সাধারণ মানুষের ভাগ্য উন্নয়নে প্রধানমন্ত্রী বঙ্গবন্ধু কন্যা শেখ হাসিনাও দিবারাত্রি পরিশ্রম করে যাচ্ছেন জনগণের ভাগ্যের উন্নয়নের জন্য। পৃথিবীব্যাপী যে মহামারী চলছে, করোনা মহামারী, আজকে শেখ হাসিনার অসম সাহসী নেতৃত্বে আমরা পরিস্থিতি মোকাবিলা করে যাচ্ছি। আজকের এই দিনে আমাদের রাজনীতি হবে ঘরে ঘরে সচেতনতা দুর্গ গড়ে তোলা। দেশে আন্দোলনের কোনো বস্তুগত পরিস্থিতি বিরাজমান নেই, আর তাছাড়া বিএনপি নেতিবাচক রাজনীতির প্রতি কারো কোনো আস্থা নেই। বাংলাদেশে নির্বাচনে ব্যর্থ, আন্দোলনে ব্যর্থ, এই ব্যর্থতার জন্য বিরোধী দল, একটা দায়িত্বশীল বিরোধী দল দায়িত্ব পালনে ব্যর্থ, সে কারণে তাদেরই টপ টু বটম পদত্যাগ করা উচিত।
Awami League Science and Technology Affairs Secretary Engineer Abdul Sabur, Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Bora, Information and Research Secretary Dr. Selim Mahmood, and Deputy Office Secretary Saim Khan, among others, were present. Different political, social and cultural organizations, including Chhatra League, Jubo League and Krishak League, also paid homage at the grave of Sher-e-Bangla. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has called upon BNP to seek apology for spreading propaganda about the corona vaccine. He also called upon the party to stand by the people. The minister made the call at a program at Dhanmondi in Dhaka today. The Relief and Social Welfare Subcommittee of the Awami League organized this to distribute health safety materials among members of the Dhaka Reporters Unity and Aviation and Tourism Journalists Forum.
দুঃখজনক হলো এটি সত্য, বাংলাদেশে বিএনপি সহ তার মিত্ররা এবং কিছু গোষ্ঠী যারা সরকারের কোনো কাজেই ভালো দেখতে পায় না, তারা কিন্তু করোনা মহামারীর শুরু থেকে মানুষের মধ্যে নানা ধরনের বিভ্রান্তি ছড়ানোর অপচেষ্টা চালিয়েছে। এটি গোপনে নয়, প্রকাশ্যে নানা ধরনের অপচেষ্টা চালিয়েছে। আমি মির্জা ফখরুল ইসলাম আলমগীর সাহেবের প্রতি অনুরোধ জানাবো, সিরাম ইনস্টিটিউট উৎপাদিত টিকা কাজ করবে না, এটি ভারতের টিকা, এটি কাজ করবে না, এই প্রচারণা আপনারা চালিয়েছিলেন। এখন সিরাম ইনস্টিটিউট থেকে টিকা আসতে যখন একটু দেরি হচ্ছে, তখন আবার অন্য কথা বলা শুরু করেছেন। সুতরাং এই বিভ্রান্তি ছড়ানোর জন্য প্রথমে আপনাদের ক্ষমা চাওয়া প্রয়োজন জাতির কাছে। এই বিএনপি সহ যারা বিভ্রান্তি ছড়াচ্ছেন, এই বিভ্রান্তির রাজনীতি না করে দয়া করে মানুষের পাশে গিয়ে দাঁড়ান। সরকার রাশিয়া, চীন সহ অন্যান্য দেশ থেকে করার টিকা আনার জন্য উদ্যোগ গ্রহণ করেছে। আগামী মাসেই সিরাম ইনস্টিটিউট থেকে অনেক টিকা আসবে এবং খুব সহসা অন্যান্য দেশ থেকে যে টিকা সংগ্রহের উদ্যোগ গ্রহণ করা হয়েছে সেগুলোও আসবে।
Awami League Relief and Social Welfare Secretary Shujit Roy Nondi presided over the program. Jatiyo Shongshudweep Abu Said Al Mahmoud Shopul, Science and Technology Affairs Secretary of Awami League, Engineer Abdul Subur, and Awami League Deputy Publicity and Publication Secretary Aminul Islam also spoke. Now, international news. India has now 1,76,36,000 confirmed cases and 1,97,894 deaths. The country reported 2,764 deaths from COVID. Meanwhile, COVID-19 global death toll crosses 31,38,000 and over 87,99,000 people have been infected globally. Besides, more than 12,65,21,000 people have actually recovered from the virus so far. The United States has announced plans to share its stock of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines with other countries amid growing pressure on President Joe Biden's administration to support global vaccine equity. The White House said as many as 60 million AstraZeneca vaccine doses could be available for export in the coming months, but it did not say where exactly those vaccines would be distributed. Viewers, now Sehri and Iftar timings for the capital and adjoining areas. Tonight, Sehri ends at 4:02 early in the morning in Dhaka and adjoining areas, while tomorrow Iftar will be at 6:29 in the evening. Now, news from the world of sport. Real Madrid will face Chelsea in the highly anticipated Champions League semi-finals first leg tonight. The match will start at 1 a.m. Bangladesh Standard Time at the Alfredo Di Stefano Stadium. Chelsea coasted through to the semi-finals after claiming a 2-1 aggregate win over Portuguese outfit Porto in the quarter-finals. Meanwhile, Zinedine Zidane's men cruised past Liverpool in the quarter-finals, claiming a 3-1 aggregate win to set up a semi-final clash with Chelsea. Real Madrid and Chelsea have only ever met thrice in the UEFA competitions. Chelsea have gone unbeaten in those fixtures, claiming 2 wins and 1 draw. And now, before we end the news, let's take a look at what's making the headlines here. China to extend all-out cooperation to Bangladesh in combating corona. Bangladesh interested to go for joint venture with China in vaccine production. Country to get Indian serum vaccine within a few days, Health Minister. Government's initiatives underway to procure vaccines from Russia, China and the United States, says Foreign Minister. Prime Minister donates 10 crore taka for the welfare of journalists during the corona situation. Everyone should act unitedly to combat corona situation, irrespective of party affiliation, says Ubaidul Qadir. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urges BNP to stand by the people, seeking apology for spreading confusion over the corona vaccine. United States plans to export 60 million AstraZeneca vaccine doses to needy countries. Death toll from coronavirus in India, almost 2 lakh. And Chelsea to face Real Madrid tonight in first leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-finals. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we invite you to watch